We're
And
back, finally.
Yeah. A little bit of a break.
All right.
All right. I have this brand new landing page.
It's
I hope you all
fancy.
enjoy it.
It's very fancy.
We'll throw more up there as we deem it necessary. But go ahead and get started on our recap.
My notes start with Bastian gave Killian the friendship knife. So that was a thing that happened.
It
The
was
town is
weird.
And we got to the Great Big Harvest Season Festival that's going on. A number of old Valian customs. There's a racetrack, wrestling, food, a tug of war, boulder lifting, etc. Bets are set. Bets are won and lost. Killian did not have a good day for the first portion. He kept kind of not winning.
He kept rolling terribly.
Yeah, the dice were not kind to him. Fate was not kind to him that day. He climbed a tower, carved his name up at the top, and another guy got up there next. Older, military. Apparently the Grand General of the Dawn Guard, with a seat on the council. Knows Killian and his family, though he hadn't seen Killian since Killian was like little. Praxis is from overseas, a place called Tearport. Finally, after all of that, lunch is rolled around. There's an eating competition kind of rolled in. So everybody's essentially not quite joining the eating competition, but can take part as part of lunch if they so choose.
Once you get onto thirds, they just kind of assume you're in the competition.
Right as we left off, Nemia sees some familiar faces and hears a song. And she, at least, I don't think the rest of us are quite there, meets up with the Starlight Troop.
At least a small group of members from the Starlight Troop. I believe that Nemia caught up with Zer, who was kind of snaking his way in and amongst the crowd, ridding them of their loose objects. And Nemia horribly failed to sneak up on him. But he was very excited to see her. A few words were exchanged. And I believe he had just asked Nemia to take part in an old routine. Play some music, get their attention, and steal a few more things, huh? So yeah, we'll pick up right there. Zer will kind of like scout the crowd, and he says, "All right, 5 copper, I can steal something off that big guy." As you see him point over to Killian amongst the crowd.
Oh, yes.
Make it 10.
Ah, all right. Watch this. You do your thing. You play some music.
Is Chili around?
Yes.
Chili, would you care to speak to Killian and warn him? I'm trying to win some easy money here.
Killian hasn't had the cat talk to him yet.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, you see, obviously you say this telepathically to keep it from the ears of Zer. But Zer kind of loses his way into the crowd. You can step out with your comrades and begin playing. They'll instantly recognize you and adjust their routine to accommodate you. Just go ahead and give me a performance check.
Okay, this is coming up. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You are easily one of the best performers there. As you started with the music, the crowd kind of builds up a little bit more. Killian, you see Nemia step out and start playing with these performers. and you listen in for a moment, and you feel this weird like pressing sensation in the back of your head as a voice says, "Look out, someone is going to steal from you."
He kind of like gives a glance around to see who said it, unsure of who.
Yeah.
Because why would
So-
he assume the cat, even if he saw the cat?
Yep. So you don't see the obviously you don't see a person that has visibly spoke to you, but as you turn around, you see Zare kind of like on a tippy toe with his hand like ready to like grab something from your back pocket.
When he goes to move the hand in, can he make a grapple check on the wrist?
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Do that.
All right. 6.
Oh. So.
God damn, the dice continue.
Yep.
Let's give a quick roll. Yep. So you go to grab his hand as he's trying to steal from you, and he slips away and like falls back a bit. And he's like, he like holds his hands up like, no trouble, and he kind of spins.
He's
away
just gonna
back into
punch
the
him.
crowd.
He is not in a good mood right now.
Okay, sure. Give me a punch.
Reckless.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh.
He's gonna little pull back his head and go for a headbutt. Really.
Okay. Let's do it. I mean,
I can't, dude.
it's enough. He's not armored,
Okay.
so he's just in normal clothes.
He
So
doesn't
even-
have a +4 to dexterity.
Yeah, he does not. So you give him a good solid crack on the head, and the dude is still conscious, but he's just like flat on the ground, staring up like, "Oh, what was that?"
Yep.
The crowd kind of disperses around you as like
Hands
they
to
see
yourself, sneak thief.
you just see like the guy on the ground, just, like he's not moving. He just like raises his hand, like, Okay.
And Killian will just walk over somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the troupe can finish their small performance, and Nemia can go collect her winnings.
For the record, still haven't done above a 10.
Yikes. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Be right back really quick.
Okay.
Yep, but did you see those numbers?
Yeah, I did.
That first one.
Yikes. That's a way to start a session.
Oh, Killian, you poor thing. Oh, man.
Yeah, because when does it go from laughing to pity? How many rolls does it take?
Like, I know he's got this whole thing about trying to get stronger and be stronger, but Killian is a strong motherfucker. Like, why is
The
why
world
is this
says
happening?
otherwise.
Apparently. Well, meanwhile, while
Oh, okay, I'm back.
oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, so you can go over, you can kind of help Zara up to his feet, and he's like, he should not have seen me coming. That was unpleasant.
Man, you're getting sloppy.
He hands over the 10.
Thank you.
It's
It's good to
good to
see you.
see.
It's
Yes.
profitable.
Are you in the area long?
Nope. We were just with a group. We've been holding up on a place, trying to stay out of trouble. Really.
Stay out of trouble. I hear that. At this point, the others will join you. So Noro, Alanis, and Othrin. Othrin does like a formal bow. Othrin is the tabaxi. Alanis is the fire breather, and Noro is the Furbolg kind of mini ringleader that's kind of leading them. Noro comes in for a big hug. And Lannis is just kind of happy to see you. Nora will say, "It's been some time. Are you gonna rejoin us? The main troop is set out just outside of New Haven, not too far from here."
As much as I'm honored, I don't really think I can leave. At least
Okay.
not on short notice.
Okay, that's fine.
What are you guys doing around here? Mostly playing and
Yep.
picking the wrong guy's pocket, or anything more interesting?
Trying to drum up some crowds to send them over to the troop, and just between us, we've heard word of maybe a furried friend kind of running amok in the area that we want to get to before some guards do.
Hmm.
So if you hear anything, try and let us know or point them in the right direction. We can keep them safe.
Okay, will do.
Nemia, for the record, you would know that there is a fairly large population of lycanthropes among the troop. And it's kind of like a safe haven for them.
Hmm.
So his...
Do I know any one of them?
You're aware of a few. You know the main ringleader of the entire troop herself is a werewolf. She's she's a blood werewolf though. She was born into it. So there's a good mix of those that were born into it and found and saved from otherwise ill fates.
Right. Okay, I'll ask. Is it anyone I know by any chance?
Probably not. We just heard some rumors that there's a creature in the area. Doing our due diligence. It'll be a new one, a new addition, if we can find them.
Okay.
So yeah, just keep an ear out. It is good to see you again, as Noro. His big bluish hand kind of grasps yours and says, "Till we meet again, but we've got some more coin to earn."
Well, not at this rate, and if you keep this guy around, he's giving it for free, basically.
Zare kind of rubs his head a bit. Not gonna happen again. They say their goodbyes at this point, and they'll take off with continue their performances. At this point, everyone can reconvene. L'Oreal will briefly say to all of you, I've got some more work to do back at the guild house, so I'm probably going to head back, but you're obviously welcome to stay and enjoy everything that's going on. And I think to make things a little bit easier, she kind of loops an arm around Bastion and says, "I'll have an escort home to prevent any problems I'm not around to stop."
Not a bad idea, honestly. You've only
That
been
should
back
work.
for a day.
Yep. Don't stay out too late, though. I might have some more information for you, Killian, about that job.
He nods.
Okay. And L'Oreal will kind of give everyone a hug real quick and say, well, have fun. See you soon.
Killian does the lift up
Yeah.
hug.
Nice. Yep. Easily. She weighs virtually nothing to you.
Again, the universe says otherwise, but well,
Yep. So Bastion will go ahead and escort L'Oreal back to the guild house. Leaving.
Oh, I'll
Leaving-
slip in some of the information with the group. It seems that some of the lycanthropies have escaped a bit and are causing a bit of a ruckus.
Wait, what?
What's escaped?
Werewolves, is that the word you're more common with?
It is, but
What do you mean escaped?
Well, not escape. They might be wondering about sometimes. Yes.
Okay. Do you mean here now at this festival?
Oh no. No. That would be awful. More like in the city.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
we
in
would have
the
noticed.
city- In the city is also pretty bad.
Yeah. Not as bad as a festival, but pretty bad.
that stuff spreads, right?
Hmm. Well, half the group has it, so I think so.
What group?
He got like Chris like crunches up his face like that's. Ugh.
Sorry, hold on. Half of what group?
The troop, sorry, the Starlight troop, my former troop.
Killen looks over and's like, "What the ones up on the stage there?
Mm-hmm.
There's the bastard who tried to pickpocket me."
Oh yeah, and I got 10 coins out of that, and I'll give him three. Was it copper?
Yeah, it was just 10 copper.
Okay. Oh, you. Thanks for the good work.
Was that you with the warning?
No, that was Chili.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Whatever. Sorry, you said you passed him some money, also out of character, or
Yeah. Was it like 3 copper?
all right. He'll just like I'll take getting paid for punching someone in the face.
I bet it's not the first time.
It probably is not. No, I would say it will not be the first time you've been paid for punching someone.
He got like rolls the coins between his fingers, like let's hope it's not the last. He puts it in his pocket.
Cheers to that.
Speaking of cheers,
Food.
when's that?
Yes. So, speaking of, the smell of cooked food is very strong in the air. It was started cooking earlier this morning, but since the competition is fast approaching, most of the food is already well done and ready for consumption.
Let's go get our Ren Fair turkey legs.
Yeah, so there's a large group of tables set up in the middle. There's a couple tables farther up ahead under a tent where it's a little fancier looking, and you see some more regal looking people there. Amongst them is General Praxis.
Yeah, Killian will just if he sorry, is the tent still a thing that was mentioned before, or is that like kind of dispersed?
So that there's a specific area for that, but in this like eating area, they have like their own small canopy.
Okay, so the
thing
ones
for-
from there probably have ended up here.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, he'll just like he'll walk by it. He won't take a seat, but he'll just walk by, and if he happens to like catch the general's glance, he'll just give a wave.
Yep. He's entertaining a couple at the table, but he does see you and gives a nod, give a quick wave back. A quick view of it. They have a few more delicacies that you would than the normal commoner would expect to see. There's a decent detachment of guards, like about 6 or so guards, normal city guards around the table. Well, a little farther out from the table, but surrounding them is, layer of protection as the masses are only, 10, 15 feet away at their own
Poor
tables.
people.
Yeah.
Sure, you
Um,
don't want to go rub shoulders or elbows or whatever it is with your friends over there?
He like gives a glance to Lena in the back. It's like, I don't know much of anyone there.
Eh. Seem to know someone.
I happened across the. That's the general practice. I don't know. If you know him, he's on the council.
Lena would know him.
Oh. Huh.
I kind of just stumbled across him on the today. It's not the first time I've met him, but I haven't met him in a while. He shakes his head. Whatever.
Hovering close behind him, Lena, you do notice two very in your face, they're very obviously Dawn Guard, though they're in maybe they're in some sort of attire to kind of downplay who they are, but it's not hiding.
Still gaudier than everyone else.
Oh yeah, they're very obviously members of the Dawn Guard.
They've got like a tie-dye shirt, but there's a jacket over it.
There's the earpieces. They can't hide those, and they're both wearing sunglasses.
Yeah. So there's a few rows of tables, and there's already a bunch of people gathered around. You see some people have kind of just paid for food at this point, and you see a handful of them eating. You see a few families kind of splitting food amongst themselves, as it's a good I want to say it's a good 10 copper pieces at least per person to eat, for at least for portion per person. So you see the families making the best of what they can. It's very distinct, the level of inequality between the lords and the masses. But they are enjoying their food. You do see there's a long line of people kind of waiting to get their food, not necessarily participate, but just to get their food and eat. You can all take your places. Where would you like to be?
In line.
Well, no. So I've kind of skipped ahead of that. Sorry.
All right.
So you're taking your seats. There's essentially, obviously, you could attempt to go sit with the nobility,
Nah.
and then there's kind of 3 rows, right next to them. The closest to them, middle row, and then farthest from them.
Where's the shadiest space?
That's not bad.
That would be why the canopy has been erected for the nobles, as there is not in this area.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Somewhere that's not too crowded, like an edge out of the way
Okay.
corner of the space. That's at
You
least
can-
what Lana would gravitate to. But if the others go sit somewhere else, she might just bump along with them.
Killian will find that works, but also anywhere that's at least somewhat en route of if there's any food, anywhere the food's kind of being brought or anything.
Okay.
You might locate just a bit closer.
Are you trying to camp out at the buffet table?
Sort of. So,
You're
You
not
pick a table.
wrong.
you pick a table in the corner, least crowded, and you pick a corner with kind of a clear exit route as well, but also near some of the food stalls. So, for the sake of it, you would technically be in the row that's closest to the nobles, but you are at the table that's closest to the food as well. So you're in this kind of corner. If there's 9, you're in the top left, and the nobles are further up than that.
Okay.
Yep. Alrighty. Good to know. So you see people fill in for a little bit longer. Everyone kind of gets their places. And what you've noticed is actually the first row that you've sat in seem to be more of the people that are actually look to be intending to compete and eat. So there's a quick trumpet and a row, a line of serving people come out with plates of food, and there's a quick announcement made. The eating competition is about to begin. We're going to serve the first course, and we will verify you have finished it after, when you're done.
Killian looks over to the other two and is like, "You two intend on properly competing?"
Not really. Go nuts.
Okay. Um, it's unfortunate Bastion is not here, but that's okay. Is Nemia going to try and eat her way through this?
Hmm. Let's see. That's my constitution. I can try.
Okay. For those competing, it is 10 copper.
Hey.
Also for those eating, it's also 10 copper. So, if you're gonna pay to eat, you might as well try and win or not. It's up to you.
Is there a prize or something, or is it just bragging rights?
There is a prize. There is a cash prize.
Oh.
So
how much?
there's a pool of about, I want to say, 30 or so people competing. So that's a good. What is that?
3 silver.
10, yeah, 3 silver. That's a good chunk of money.
Sure, Lena will try in that case.
Okay. So everyone will, as the serving people are coming out, they'll take your coin from you as your entrance fee and serve you your first plate of food. Was there anything else?
No.
Thought I heard someone saying something.
Killian's just like getting himself ready, almost. Like lightly stretching.
He's cracking his jaw and making sure it opens and closes properly.
Okay. So,
Or improperly, if that's better.
so they bring out kind of these mugs filled with water, kind of just more to help the food than anything. The first plate that comes out is this plate of royal herring. It's heavily
Ooh.
salted fish, strong smoky flavor. It looks pretty dang good, and it sets in front of everyone, and everyone just kind of begins eating. This is your guys' first plate of food. There should not be any issues with all of you scarfing it down.
Killian doesn't eat scarf, though.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if there's any, like, if it's on the bone at all or anything, but just, you know the cartoon thing, you put the whole fish in your mouth and you pull out the skeleton?
Yep. Reasonable enough. You all can pick your food clean. Most people are able to finish the first plate as they haven't eaten all day. After a good amount of time has passed, they collect the plates and they begin to bring out the second plate of food. Actually, what is everyone's constitution modifier?
+2.
+3.
+2. Mm.
Oh, we're still for a close run.
So,
+3, really? Nice. Okay.
You made it.
I know I did. I'm just not aware of it off the top of my head. Okay. They bring out a second tray of food. This is smoked rack of lamb. As you dig into it, it's a little fatty and gamey, but this is well and above what the average commoner would eat. So, Killian, you've probably ate this well enough in your life, but maybe Nemia and Lena haven't had it as much.
Killian, like, kind of, like, does a bit of a... Like, he doesn't put the hood up, but he kind of, like, like, tunes himself to the wolf mantle to eat lamb.
Getting in the zone. Killian, you're probably the first one done eating amongst, like, the whole crowd.
And he'll just do like a wave or a tap on the table or whatever for the confirmation that he's done.
The serving lady will come over, verify that you're done, and take your plates. They're still waiting for the whole group to kind of move on to the next one. Looking around, you see the beginnings of some people starting to tap out as they finished their rack of lambs, as they're like, no, there's no way I can eat more than this.
He takes a moment to close his eyes and kind of like, not quite meditate, but just hold it together. Get it down, get it already going through the pipes.
Yep. Okay. Nemi and Lena, you can finish up not too long after. You guys haven't eaten all day, and this is some damn good food. Everyone, the rest of the competition finishes. A good handful of them drop, maybe about 5 or 6. They round up all the plates, and then they bring out another plate. This one carrying like a small bowl on it of cottage pie. So it's basically there's a bunch of potatoes, maybe a little bit of veggies, and some beef in it,
Ah, easy.
all kind
Ooh.
of mixed together. Yeah.
Nice.
This is more. This
Break
would be
ground.
more common for people. Yeah, break round. Yes, they can't just go hard on meat for every round.
I was just waiting for like the 2-foot tall like pile of mashed potatoes that we get.
It's a sizable pie, so this much potato might knock out a good handful of people. But once again, you're able to kind of clear your plate. You're starting to feel a bit full there, but you can probably keep going. Nemi and Lena, this is probably right where you're hitting your full, where you're like, ooh, I'm a bit stuffed here. You imagine it might get a little bit harder for you as things continue.
All right.
Killian gives like a glance over and there's like a flash of fangs in his mouth and a smile.
Yep. So by this point, another like 10 people drop out. So more than half the people that originally started have dropped out. As it's a good amount of food that has been consumed.
Yep.
A few people have even unfortunately lost their food again.
No.
But
Oh.
as is part of the competition. They clear the plates. They refill water cups for everyone as they need it. And then they bring out another plate of fish. This one is a little bit more familiar to you, Killian. It's Aurora cod, which is, native to your part of the world.
Mhm.
So this is like every other meal for you. This is common.
Maybe a personal favorite or like a
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, if you're
not a
in-
favorite, but one of those like standby meals that you can always get and be happy with.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's slightly sweet for fish. Comes apart in these large flakes. Falls apart pretty easily too. Everyone can get started in on your food. Yeah, Killian, you just you go right through it and clean your plate. Nemia and Lena, you have the option of attempting to make a Constitution saving throw to eat it, or tapping out.
I'll attempt the Constitution saving throw.
Okay,
16.
you are good. You keep it down. Everything good. You're very full, but you're hanging in there.
Okay. I'll pop one button of my pen and do my save. Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Same number.
16. Nice.
Yep,
Might
you
be
make
nice to roll that high.
You'll get a chance. This might
So-
be
No,
the
I
next
won't.
round.
Alrighty, so yeah, you're very full, but it's not coming up. You're good. Another about 6 people drop out, so I think we're down to about, if I did my math right, 8 people. We'll go with that. We're down to 8 people now.
Is there any like one person kind of like really keeping pace or anything?
Oh yeah, the
Okay.
general.
Okay.
Oh no.
General is keeping pace, and at this point, you've probably noticed him, and he's noticed you. And like, there's this friendly but strong air of competition now erupting between you two.
During the in between as other people's plates are being cleared, Killian will just get off his seat for a second, just go behind his seat, and do a few push-ups.
Yeah, keep doing that.
You see the general will actually. You see him loosen some of his armor, and he'll take it off. like just like the top piece of his armor. You see him kind of setting in, stretching a bit. And then the next plate of food is beginning to be brought out. It is a nice roast pheasant. The strong, you can smell this strong smell of spices and a little bit of wine. It looks cooked to almost pretty much perfection. You kind of rip into it a little bit. It's not dry. It's basically perfect. Everyone at this point will need to make a Constitution saving throw to continue eating.
Almost don't want to.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Lena, anemia. You're good. The pheasant helped clear everything up.
I feel the tension in my face. Just
You're good.
over the fucking course, though.
Yeah, no, you have a brief moment. You're like, oh, like something didn't sit quite right, and you had to like choke it down a little
He
bit.
pulls a bone out of his throat and goes, "Oh, that was it."
Yeah, like okay, we're good here. At this point, there's a lot more uncontrollable loss of food, and as this is a lot that you guys have eaten. We're 5 plates of food in, and it's heavy stuff. So it is down to the 3 of you, the general, and one more guy who looks ready to hurl at any moment.
His face is like flashing between the like white and green.
Yeah, basically. Like you see him considering tapping out. Like you can see just the look of sheer terror on his face. Like, I can do no, I can't. No, I can. No.
Do I quit while I'm ahead, or can I make it?
Yep. And
Can I catch his eye and just try to shake my head like, don't do it?
he's like, no, I got this. Like just with like his physicality, and then the plates come out. The plate doesn't even hit his table before he loses it.
Nah, I got this. I'm big and.
Yep. Because unfortunately, the plate they brought out was a plate of honey fritters. So these, crisp pastries glazed in honey. So the bit of sweet just did not sit well.
Just hits the nose just wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it smells great, but. So yeah, it is down to 4.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
Let's see. How we survive
I'm
the
wondering
last
if the
round.
general's set to win or if we can beat him. Any of us.
Wondering if the general's at the point we have to actually make saves or not.
That too. Is the general making saves, or are you just assuming?
I have a predetermined point where he will be tapping out.
Yay!
Or losing it, or...
All
There is
right.
only so much he can handle.
All right. Okay. So let's try to do this.
Lena is in.
Killian's in. I just don't want to
Sweet
press the
pastries
button.
in front of you. You pick them up. A moment of hesitation before you begin on them. There's only 3, so it's kind of a smaller plate than before, but it kind of makes up for it that it's a pastry. It's bread and honey and yeah.
Oh, this is honestly scarier than combat cooking these things.
Because it's pride, right? It's nothing but pride.
Lena doesn't have as much of her identity riding on this. She just hopes to outlast Killian. That's all she wants. I'm not gonna get it.
No, but she has Killian's identity riding on it, and that's enough for her.
Yeah. Oh yes!
Oh.
She's still in!
You have a
Unless the
moment.
DC is a 25, she's still in!
Yeah, you have a moment where you slam the table and you're like, chomp them down real quick, swallow them down, and you're like, you're good. You're completely good.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. If I roll like a 3 or below, I'm just gonna need to take a break for a moment.
That is acceptable.
There.
that
Especially
is
after
fair.
Is Nemia still going?
No, Nina's gonna tap out.
All right.
Nemia taps out. Okay.
A bard's decency.
Another.
One of the
What'd you
very
do?
few
Oh yeah,
XP.
13. Okay, yeah, you're still good.
Oh,
This one you have to choke down as well, but you're holding it together as you are not going to let Letta beat you. You are not going to let her.
I've got to do another one now.
Let's make an all around go of it.
Oh.
4, 2, 8, 8, and 8. All right.
Okay, you look over, you see the general has finished his food as well, and you see him kind of put his hands back behind his head, sorry, and like lean back in his chair. You can tell he's got a full belly, but he's ready to continue. Both of you have eaten a lot by this point. It might be rough, this last one. You'll see that the crowd of people has grown quite large. As you know, there's some cheers. A lot of people are just still eating, though. Everyone make a perception check at disadvantage, because you guys are very stuffed with food right now.
Yeah, no, 4.
7.
My first number was good. Oh well.
Out of curiosity as well, Killian's just gonna check his pockets.
Pockets. You have been sitting down this whole time, and there are guards basically right behind you, so you're fairly confident that your goods are protected.
All right.
But yeah, so all of you are kind of lost in this food coma beginning to happen. It's beginning to set in. There's one more round, and they bring out these. They basically bring out a glass and set it in front of each of you. And there's kind of a confused look between all of you. In the glass is what looks like wine. It's very sweet smelling wine. And there's an announcement that this is Goodberry wine.
Oh.
Okay, you're gonna die.
So Goodberry wine has been known to last. Like a bottle of Goodberry wine can last years, as a few gulps of wine will fill you up, and so you have a full wine glass of wine. This alone would probably have knocked out most of the competition.
Killian gives a look over to Lana and is like, "If you don't want to be seen blowing chunks, now's a good time." I mean, honestly, this is just unfair.
You gonna drop out?
He shakes his head.
Alright.
I've got one thing to try for here. Make the day not a total bust.
Right.
He says with like an almost like sad look in his eyes for half a second.
There's kind of stillness in the air as the crowd looks on. Even the general's like, he goes to pick it up and then he stops and is like, "Oof, okay." He goes to pick it up again. It's like, no.
Killian's just gonna
He's
do
hesitant. Okay.
You're just gonna slam it.
Okay, make the save. It's going to be rough.
Lena takes a deep breath as if she was using second wind. There
It's
are
a
no
3. I'm gonna be right
gain,
back.
but she's trying.
Okay. Yep,
Oh no! 11. I think we both lost.
Yeah. No.
Did the general also lose it, or did he make it to the end?
You all spewed at the same time. Well, okay. I wouldn't say that. That's rather disgusting. I would say the general got about halfway through and just like stop and spit the rest out as then he tapped out. How you guys handle it? Killian downed his. I imagine his came back up.
Yeah. Lena was trying to pace herself, but If Killian's came back up at that point, she would have stopped.
Yep. Okay. Makes sense.
She just wanted to outlast him, if only slightly, even if she didn't finish it.
You have accomplished that.
All right.
Okay.
I am so sorry for Killian. I'm sorry, Devin. He's not here.
He's not here. He had to take a moment, which is, to be fair, his rolls have just been
Horrible.
awful.
Yep. So, since we all kind of lost it and quit and tapped out on the same round,
Yes, you
split
guys
the
have.
pot.
Yes,
All right.
it's not terrible.
1 silver each. That divided out very nicely.
Yeah, no, like you went from 10 copper to a silver. That's
Pretty good.
that is better than a lot of people do in a few days.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and take 5 and wait for
Oh, sure thing. Be right
for
back.
Devin to be okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Eric just went and said he'd be right back since we were gonna go ahead and take 5.
All right.
But to recap a little for your sake, basically, the general drank about half his thing before putting it down. Like, nope, can't do anymore. Tapping out. Killian, because you slammed it, unfortunately did lose it.
Yep.
And Lena also had to either throw up or tap out. She just lasted that 1 second longer. She waited until Killian was out and then was like, okay, I'm done.
You had that 1 second longer, huh?
Eh.
Yep.
She didn't actually throw up because she paced herself.
Mhm.
Sorry. However, the good news is you do win 1 silver. The pot is split between the last 3 in the category because nobody actually finished.
Okay.
So, yeah. Look, you got to the last round. You got to the last round, okay?
It's not what I said. I said
I
if
know.
I rolled under a fucking
Yeah.
3,
Yep, I know, but
I still haven't gone over a 10. It's a literal 50-50 chance to be above and below 10. I've got nothing but tails when I need a heads. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy's right.
Yep. Oh, did I just close out of the game? I think I just closed out. Yep, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Yep, bring that back open. Thank goodness we're on the 10-minute break and not in the middle of combat when I did that. Dear God. Dum dum dum.
Back.
Hello.
Hello.
I think Devin wants to smash some heads in as Killian.
Here's the thing: I won't be able to.
Successfully.
Yeah, no, it's I can. It's nothing. I cannot do anything to make myself feel better because I am physically incapable of doing so.
I mean, maybe this kind of fair is not the best place to challenge your strength. It's not the right context.
It is Valian. It is a Valian-drenched fair. It is everything Killian is. It's everything Killian wants to be. It's everything Killian did as a kid.
Okay, then yeah. I'm out of the contest, right?
Yep. You
And-
already dropped out the round before.
Shit, okay. Bardic inspiration on this guy?
On which
On
guy?
what?
On you, kill him?
He's
Oh.
over. It's done.
Oh, I thought we had one round left.
Oh no.
Oh.
No. That one constitution.
That would have been nice, but my numbers don't care.
I mean,
Yeah, to be fair, there is no roll that would have done it.
oh, okay.
Even for Lena.
Mm-hmm. DC was 18 or higher?
Yep.
Okay.
They intended this round to be the final round.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This was planned. So, after the mess is cleaned up, and the awards distributed, there's a silver piece that is returned to Killian, to Lena, and to Praxis. Though he doesn't seem to care too much for it. He's just like, oh yeah, okay. You're bittersweet about your winnings, Killian, because
Yeah.
your pride is hurt, but you did win a silver.
So he basically got a free dinner,
Yeah, basically.
which he then didn't have. He doesn't have anymore.
Well, I wouldn't say you lost all of it, but you're definitely much more empty than you were before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At this point, you notice that the crowd of onlookers, were once before you thought most of them were kind of cheering and like applauding the spectacle. You notice that there's a lot of angry faces amongst the crowd, and you actually see people holding a few rocks, like larger, decent sized
Oh.
rocks. You see a few pitchforks. One of the members of the crowd kind of steps forward, and it's this guy in, I guess, basically what you'd call like blacksmith attire. He's got like a good solid apron, and you can tell he works. He works the forge. And you see him kind of talking amongst the people, and like there's this kind of slow chant going amongst this group immediately around him, and kind of spreads. And he whips around. You hear this. What do we want, people? And you hear this chant of food, as this angry mob has formed around the amongst the tables, and it looks to be directed toward the nobles.
Well.
the guy in charge. For too long, you lords have been getting fat off of the work of the people. It's not fair. We will take what is ours. And, it has erupted into a full-fledged mob at this point. I'm going to go ahead and throw you over. Oop, or not. Way back. Throw you over here.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice map.
All right.
That's a lot of mob.
Yeah, so you guys are kind of sitting at your table, like, not quite involved in it, but there is people around you. You kind of like the guy goes into a bit more rhetoric as you can ponder what you were going to do.
Where is the guy? Like the main leader?
He's part of the main central group in the middle. This one.
Okay.
He goes into for years. He's been paying his taxes, and they've always taken too much. He lost his house a long time ago and had to move into this like smaller shack, and there's like a shout of people like agreeing with him. He's like understanding his story as they've been through the same.
Can I like tap a shoulder of like if anyone's like close by his table kind of thing, like that mob beside him?
Yeah, they're fairly close. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, he'll just give a tap and like almost like a hey, talk for a second, like motion.
So like it's this kind of skinnier human male, slicked back hair. He's like, "What do you want?"
What are you guys intending on doing right here?
Removing the nobles, the ones oppressing us.
How exactly? Do you think the words will move them? What are the pitchforks and torches for?
For if they don't listen.
Look, I can understand the sentiment, and quite frankly, proper direct combat is a nice arbiter in general. Good way to get past political bullshit. That said, those are two dog guard back there. Are you folks sure you're not ready to die?
There is at least 100 of us. We can
And-
take them.
And how many of you are going to die for it?
You see a brief moment where he's like,
You could be one of them. Will that make you feel better? Will
Yeah.
that make your family fed?
a few of the people like around him have like heard this, as and you see a lot of their resolve wavering.
That man in the middle there that's stirring you up, he doesn't care how many of you die, as long as he gets his way. What does that say about him?
You
Bit of food on the table for your family is a good thing, but a parent not there for them isn't exactly a good trade.
You don't look like one who's been through much struggle.
Which one of us is he addressing?
Killian.
Okay.
Killian's like the one immediately next to him.
There's a twitch on his face, and just like, yeah, how come?
Your fine clothes. And he kind of just like he falters as he doesn't know how to follow that up.
Yeah, and he's like, there are some people out there who can. It doesn't work for everyone, but going out and doing some stuff is a way to get gold in the pocket. It's not for everyone though, but assumptions aren't the greatest. Also, and he looks over. I think you'll find the general up there. He's a reasonable man. Violence is the great closer of all political discussions.
You will notice that Praxis has stood up from his table and kind of slid around to the front of the group. He did take his armor off, so he did not have time to put it back on. So he's got his, the bottom part of his suit of armor on, but he does have his, just basically a shirt on. He kind of addresses the crowd and says, You will disperse at once, and we will let you leave. But continue this course of action, and you will force our hand. And the guy that's been kind of been stirring up trouble, the blacksmith fellow, is like, "Oh, and you're the worst of them all, leading our armies and setting the rules for this country. You don't know us
And Lena
or
gets
our struggle."
up, goes over just a little.
Gillian's slowly getting up too. And looks over.
And what are you doing right now? Making an army out of common people? Leading them against trained soldiers? How many of them are going to die for this? Is this what you want?
Enough for us to be free of this tyranny.
So their lives are yours to bargain with. Yours
All
to
these-
lay down?
They all come here willingly. They believe in this cause.
Do they?
Or do they
How
just
many
not
of
think
you,
there's
then?
no other choice?
There is a murmur among the crowd.
How many of you want to die right here, right now?
How many think a plate of food on the table for your family is worth your life? And your family's lives without you. There's better ways to do this. Violence jumps past all political discussions, but it closes a lot of doors.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Which one? And is their
would
advantage due to help?
Yeah, I would say Lena, since you got up and addressed the main guy, with advantage with help from Killian.
Yeah, if you got a bardic inspiration, now's the time.
Let's go.
Okay. Because, oh boy. Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
With the d6.
That's not bad.
It's rolling, it's taking a time. Okay, 18.
Nice.
18. There's a good. You see a lot of the crowd kind of like looking at each other, as you can visibly see their drive, their motivation, faltering, and some of like the fringe people kind of throw down whatever instrument they have, or whatever like rocks they have. They take their tools with them. I'm gonna leave that. And like basically the fringe crowds begin to kind of disperse, and the one that's been trying to incite all this is like, "Where are you going? We're here to make a difference, to make the world a better place
And
for
you think
everyone."
And you think going at the military superpower with a bunch of pitchforks and torches is the way to go about it. You play to your own strengths. If you feel them cruel and uncaring, then use your own empathy. Don't play on their level.
You see him struggling. He's just in this fit of pure anger and rage. Like he is completely hyped up. But you see him also frustrated as he's losing his crowd, as more and more of them are shaking their head and walking away. There's a few people close to him that probably his good buddies or something that have his back, but even them, they're looking side-eyed at each other like, "We're still doing this?" And Praxis will take another step forward out from under the kind of the canopy they have set up and say, "This festival has been for the people, and this food is in a way meant to help. I know times are tough and unfair to you, but like the young man says, this is not the answer. So I will stand here." Then he kind of holds his arms out. "No armor. Let he who really wants to go down that road down." And the even the friends of the main person, riling up the crowd, kind of falter at this. And so the blacksmith guy, he's like, "Ah," and he like reaches and grabs a rock and goes to throw it at Praxis. And Praxis lets it hit him, but he shrugs it off, and he holds his hand up to stop the guards. What do you think you will accomplish? You've already done nothing. And at this point, the blacksmith, he drooped down onto his knees, completely defeated. And some guards from around the side come in, and put him in chains.
Could Lena have gotten to him first?
Sure. You are technically closer than the guards. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Gonna get there first.
Okay.
Kind of one knee right in front of him, hand on the shoulder, and say, "Look, sometimes things fall apart. And sometimes it's not really anyone's fault. But really, the answer is to try to pick up the pieces and keep going, even if you go a different direction. This isn't one of the directions that's best to go. It's not... You shouldn't just throw everything away out of, I don't know, frustration."
Could Killian kind of walk up as well?
Yeah, so the guards do surround him and are, beginning to restrain him as you're talking to him.
And Killian will look over, and Killian will look more to like the guys he was with, like his buddies kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just look, and just like, and guys, if you're really gonna go this route, that one's a blacksmith. I don't even think the weapons you brought could even pierce his fine linens. You're clearly not good at this.
There's some looks of, hey. But
Listen,
others are like, yeah.
you're a smith. Your skills are carried inside of you. Yeah, you need a shop, you need the tools and materials, but there is something in that you can't lose. You haven't lost everything.
What do you know? As he looks up at you. The guards kind of pull him to his feet at this point.
More
It's
than you
already
think.
over. And the general will kind of say out, for assaulting a guard of the Union, you are hereby arrested to await further judgment. And the rest of you disperse now. He commands this, force of person with this command, and whoever was still around or lingering does disperse at this point.
Killian will,
Lena,
after things have dispersed, go to practice.
Lena's heading in the same direction, honestly.
Killian, like,
Oh.
Like, they
plants.
turn and they bump into each other and they're
Yep.
like, "Oh, you do? Okay."
If you're doing what I think you're doing, I might have a better chance, okay?
Possibly. If nothing else, bring up the fact that he is a tradesman. He has valuable skills that shouldn't be put to waste just because he had a little bad fortune and didn't know how to handle it.
So Killian will approach.
Yeah, he'll still say, just like, you can come if you want, just maybe I take the lead.
Fine. Lena will hang back just like a half step
Mhm.
behind him to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, and just once
Yes.
things have dispersed and in general isn't like in the middle of something.
The guards kind of like notice you approaching and like they move to kind of cut you off, but the general waves them off.
Thanks.
Thank you. You've quelled a riot with your words.
Hmm.
That's something.
Well then, call me sentimental, but if a favor could have a favor in kind, don't chop the guy's head off.
Well, starting a riot is usually called for that kind of punishment.
It was a pretty
But-
shitty riot, though.
Indeed, it was. Didn't even leave a. Probably not even going to leave a bruise as you see him kind of like massaging the area where it.
In other circumstances, I mean, a failed murder is looked down a lot less than a successful murder. So a failed riot should hold the same, no?
Well, we can't let it go on.
Yep, still gotta send your message, I get it. Just slap on the wrist rather than a chop off of the hand. Smith's hands are worth it.
We're always in need of a good sword. Perhaps something could be arranged. Well, look at you, the people's prince.
Ugh. He got like spit some, still like throw up he's had in his mouth for a while now out to the side.
You're
Yeah, sure.
I don't know whether your uncle will be proud or not.
That's what I aim for.
A big hearty chuckle comes from him. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the festivities and your earnings. That was a great game. Now, if you don't mind, I'm probably going to escort these dukes and duchesses and lords and what have you back to some more secure locations.
Sounds good. You might want the chess piece back on, though. You're kind of going over the belt. He says with a smile.
He chuckles. Yeah, I ate a bit too much. And like he nods at you, and he nods at Lena, and he says, and thank you as well. Your words are as much to celebrate. Thank you.
She just nods back.
You see him, he kind of like, he has a brief moment where he's trying to figure you out, but then he quickly like lets it go and takes his men and leaves.
Yep.
And the three of you are left in basically an empty eating area. An empty, disgusting, messy eating area.
Let's get out of here and see what else there might be to see.
Yeah,
Killian says through his teeth.
I mean, unless you want to eat some more.
What is his current walking speed? 10?
No, he emptied most of his stomach. He is not encumbered.
Oh.
I mean, you lost quite a bit. Are you hungry again?
Keep it up and I'll give you a swift jab to the gut.
All right,
That might
that's
not
a
bode too
threat.
well for Lena.
Come on.
All right. So yeah, the festivities are continuing around you, but it looks like by this point most of the events of the day have taken place. Let's actually double check my list real quick.
Even if there's no events, just slow walk around the grounds to help digest everything.
Yep.
And see if there's anything interesting, like stories, songs, stalls, whatever you want to throw at us.
Okay.
At some point, as they're just walking to, Killian might just like walk in front of Lena and then almost like brake check her.
All right. What's it take to like stop in time and then slap him in the back of the head?
I guess it's just a perception. You just got to see it coming.
Let's see what that is. Don't tend to roll well on those. Nope. Smack full into the back.
He'll have he'll have like an elbow just ever so slightly back to get into the gut.
Oh, you little.
Just
That's not
watch where you're going there.
It's not a slap anymore.
Some.
I clicked it, but it's being very slow.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on.
Playful competition. A good jab thrown.
You miss.
Ah!
He's like head swipes out of their way, and it's like, oh, almost. Guess the food's weighing you down a bit.
I swear I will keep on swinging.
Like I said, you've got a real weak spot right there, right now. Save for later. We still got a rematch.
I'll show you a weak spot.
You're doing it right now, actually.
All right. Are you going to continue attacking him, or?
She
He's
curls a fist and it draws back a little bit, but then she lets it go just for time being.
Mm.
She's gonna store it for later.
Yep. Okay. You guys continue your walk around the. Actually, I'll go ahead and shoot you over to the Port Millard. You know, it's a good distance around the wide green. You could also go around the Storm Hill if you.
Anything fun with the Storm Hill? Or
So there's still some people doing, you know, the tug of war thing, and nearby is they still have, you know, some people doing the stone lifting, but nothing of note.
As they're walking real quick, they might just. So you said those the one with the pickpocket in it. Like, you know that group? He says to Nemia.
Yeah, I do.
And they've got some. They've got some cursed ones in their ranks.
Yes, if you want to call them that.
How much did you interact with them?
What are you looking for?
Are you?
If it's,
You know.
I'm not a.
He does
no.
like a finger motion with like in front of his face, like fangs.
How many days have we spent together?
It hasn't been a full moon.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. Then you'll never know.
Actually,
Up until then.
let me look real quick. You can continue, but I'm actually gonna look it up.
All right. It's like, so then you just kind of happen to know some of those kinds.
Yes, you might actually happen to know some too. I mean, I couldn't be a werewolf. I have a cat.
What does that mean?
It's a joke. Dog cats.
No, before that, I might know one.
Oh, werewolf?
Why?
Why the name?
Why do you think I would know one?
Oh, I don't know. Because they are more common than most people think. That's probably it.
Okay, gotcha. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. For the record, you are currently in a new moon phase. The full moon is probably going to come on, give or take, the 15th.
And today is the
15th day of the harvest. It is the 4th day of harvest.
All right.
The also notable of the 15th day of harvest is the council meeting.
Oh, okay, fun.
So Gillian does like the math on his fingers real quick, and he's just like, "You're not gonna go whack out freaky crazy when we get to the council, are you?"
I mean, I hate bureaucrats, but I don't think that's that's the type of reaction you'd expect from me.
Oh, good. I know some people who get along fine with. Should we head back to the house, or?
What time is it again?
Probably.
It's probably about 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Nothing
Late
else,
afternoon.
Nothing else interesting.
No little like cart shops or anything.
Make um, each of you can make a perception check. See what you find.
Okay. Yay! The usual.
I got a 13. I'm surprised.
Woo!
Yeah. So
Oh, also, for the record, because I just checked, assuming the advantage was the second roll, Killian rolled a 3 for Lena on the persuasion check.
oh lord. Wow. Okay. So yeah. Lena and Nemia, you see the different stalls, like people selling various goods. You know, there's pottery, food, little trinkets here and there. Killian, hold on, let me check the time real quick. Okay. You see this kind of like this full tent with this like elongated opening. It's kind of like a tent igloo.
Hmm.
The best way to describe it.
Tent glue.
Tent glue. And it just has a sign on it with a symbol you've seen before, as it's very common amongst it's oh crap. It's common. It's an old Valian symbol.
Meaning?
You know, it's that the web right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see it on this sign above the tent. No, nothing else. No other defining markings.
And what does that symbol usually like? What does it have for meaning behind it?
So to you, it's kind of like this thing that it's like an early language thing, it like early Valian was kind of based off of this, and like this symbol kind of contains all of the old Valian language in it, and it has other meanings that you kind of didn't pay too much attention to.
Gotcha. But it's close to like it's not quite a flag, but it's
just like a little sign on top.
He just looks over and it's like, "You guys mind if we make a quick stop?"
Sure
Does
thing.
Lena see the sign at that point?
Lena, yes. Now you see it, that it gets pointed out to you.
She stops short.
What's up?
You see her fish something on a cord out of the front of her shirt under her armor. She looks at it, she looks at the sign, she stuffs the pendant back in.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What was that?
Just something I've had for a little while. And she starts heading towards that tent.
Killing will like not like pull on the shoulder, but just like kind of like tap, like hold on. Like,
Look, I just want to find out what it means.
it's a Valiant thing. It's basically kind of like an alphabet.
An alphabet.
And it's what a lot of the symbols got based off of. The thing you see the go around. He'll like list off whatever it is, like say his ABC's almost like the first 4 or
Yeah,
something.
like you can point out, like you can kind of like visually trace some of the letters within it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll walk with Lena as they're going there. Where do you know it from?
She kind of pauses and then pulls out the pendant again and shows it to you. Just on her open palm. It's a very simple, round, kind of silvery metal pendant, and it's etched with that symbol.
He like he like puts a hand like, can I like?
It's still around my neck, so It's
He,
not
he,
going
he just
far.
wants to like turn it around.
She flips it over for him. There's nothing on the back.
And where'd you get that?
Don't know. Had it as long as I remember.
Don't know. Right, you're. Like there's a tilt and like. Let's get like stare at Lena's face for a second. Are her features like very Valian?
um, make a make a
History, insight.
Yeah, what kind of
So-
check?
Yeah, so it's a mix between. I'm gonna go ahead and allow perception for now. This should be fine.
All right, yeah.
Just to examine
His
the
history,
face.
his insight, and his perception are the same thing. So
Oh, well, there you go.
it's gonna be a +2 regardless. So 14.
14. You've been around a wide group of people. You can tell certain distinct groups apart well enough. Lena has to. It's tough to describe. You can't. You wouldn't place her among like your typical Valiant women, but there are certain like prominent features on her face that like, oh, that could be kind of like maybe if she was mixed with some other thing, you can maybe kind of picture that. But like one of the biggest things that stands out is she does have this air of any like pictures or like murals of warrior women that would be in the history books. She looks vaguely like this.
Hmm.
Like it's just this, so I guess in a way, yes.
She looks like historically Valian, you would say?
Yes. That
Okay.
is a good way to, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you just kind of like stares at her face for a second, just like, you're. Do you know who your parents are?
No.
You got some. I think you got some Valian in you.
Really?
Nods.
Well,
You've got. And this is not. And I mean this as literally as possible. You look like something out of the textbooks. Like, or old murals. Like, you look like an old Valian.
I'm trying to decide if that's something that I should punch you for or not.
I
I feel like that's the sort of thing I've been told. Isn't it supposed to be rude to say somebody looks old?
you don't look like you're a high age. You look like you are of a people from long ago.
Hmm.
I assume at this point, like, they've walked up to the front, maybe.
Yep, you've reached the front. It's very dark inside. You see a kind of a flickering light coming from within. The vague smell of incense.
Look, I know you said you don't care about what you don't remember, but I see at least some spark of curiosity here. And this is my field, at least a bit. I didn't pay the most attention in classes, but I know Valian.
I know something of Valian too, just not this part.
He nods and just kind of he like makes a weird face for a second. Trust me on this one.
She makes a weird face too.
I'm not trying to screw you over here, okay? Not for fun or anything else.
Look, if this person has a sign with that on their tent, they probably know what it actually is or means or something. So, if anything.
Right, and if there's some things they wouldn't assume about you, but I might. Just
Yeah.
multiple eyes
I
here
just-
can help, okay? That's it.
Alright, fine. I just don't think that the alphabet is something you put on a necklace.
It's
You know?
it's not quite that, but it's representative. Whatever, let's just and he opens the door.
Pushes aside
Well,
the other flap and goes in as well.
Yeah. Yep. You head inside, and
Nemia, you want to tag along?
Sure thing.
you enter into this tent, and you see it's very low light inside the tent. There's a table kind of the center. There's shelving kind of around the sides of the tents. Various you see various plants and you see mushrooms. You see skulls of dead things, flowers, just all sorts of assorted random things. You see vials of liquids, and then you see there's sticks of incense placed at certain intervals around the room. Lightly fills up the tent. This smokiness. There's a little flap in the top that is kind of you see escaping. And seated at this table, you see this older-looking woman. Her hair is kind of like all over her face. You can't like directly see her face. You can tell she's probably in her 80s, 90s. She's very old. Seated at this table, frail arms. You see like this necklace beaded with feathers and random skulls on it, and wearing furs. And as you all enter the tent, this crackly old woman voice. Welcome. What are you here for?
Hey, full honesty, we saw the symbol out front. I'm just curious, but friend here has some questions. I guess, what is this? Are you like a alchemist, fortune teller? He's kind of like looking around the room.
Mm-hmm. The web of word. The symbol that contains the beginning, the end, and all the parts that make this world. It is historic, ancient, and yes, I do tell fortunes.
Well, he looks over. Maybe you can help. I'm guessing you've got to be knowledgeable on stuff like that.
Please take a seat. You see she like motions her arms out as 3 stools kind of slide out from the table.
Gillian kind of like nods towards Lana, like, go ahead, maybe say something.
Beginning and end, and is there anything else to it? Or it's just everything? And
it is
nothing.
everything. I would not call it nothing, but it is everything.
Like representatively, or?
In a way.
Lena will sit down very cautiously on the center stool.
So basically, the table is circular, and on top of the table is that symbol. Exactly how it looks on the screen.
Nope.
And she motions for the other two.
Yep, Gillian sits down right after.
I'll follow.
I've had a token. I've had a token with that symbol for a long time. I didn't know what it meant. That's really why I came in here to ask.
The symbol. Do you know where it came from?
I'm told that it's basically the Valian alphabet, all in one.
No.
She means where you
Your
got
symbol.
Oh. No, I don't.
Then perhaps it is not the future that you need read. Perhaps the past offers you more insight.
Why don't you tell her what you know of your past first?
Not much.
She's downplaying it. She is seemingly okay with the fact that she has little to no idea about where she comes from, who her parents are, or generally a large swath of her early life.
I would be happy to divine what knowledge I can.
Also, I'm guessing you're Valiant, right?
I am from down south,
You're at least aware of stuff like that.
of course.
Does her face kind of strike you as something that would be in like an old textbook?
Okay, you're still on that.
I want to know if I'm completely off base here. That's all.
In a manner.
Like old
Look, you
war
can get-
murals.
Look, you can get somebody to see anything just by suggesting it.
I would be happy to divine more, but
Do you charge?
my readings are not free.
How
much?
much?
How much do you wish to learn?
I don't know.
Killian puts down the silver he won.
Even with like the hair kind of face, you can see the eyes underneath kind of light up at this. Is this for her or for yourself?
Nope, for her.
Very well.
I
And she
don't think
kind
it's
of
worth that much.
Not to you, but to me. I just don't think you value it enough is all.
Look, it's gonna turn out that my parents were nobodies and just
What was
Nothing
that you
else,
said
so-
about you can have anyone believe something if you say it? You
No.
would be doing that to yourself.
I do not guarantee I will provide all the answers. But perhaps we may find something to aid you in your search.
At least
for...
a starting point, more than, I don't know. Because that's all she's gotten.
Okay, perhaps. You see her kind of focus. She kind of moves the hair back a bit, and you see these blank white eyes kind of stare up at each of you and settle on Lena. And you kind of you meet her gaze, and you begin to see these like almost these lines beginning to form in her eyes, various swirls of color, as you feel a strange sensation taking over you. You know, your vision goes dark for a moment, and you see this flash of light, and it's like you are outside, sitting on a hill, underneath a tree. You look out over this long stretch of farmland. You are younger, smaller, and you hear this voice that says, "I have a gift for you." And you turn, and you don't see the person, but you see the arm stretched out, holding this little medallion, this little carved symbol. I spent all afternoon making it for you. And then your vision kind of fades. And it's much later, older. And it is, you find yourself surrounded by armor and weapons. And you're suiting up. And you take the necklace off you. And you feel this strong sensation to give it away as you hand it off to your friend who is once again by your side for good luck. And once more, it flashes, and you find yourself lost, confused, and you see this uh, broken trinket on the ground, and something draws you to it, and you pick it up, and you continue on your way. As you flash back to the inside of the tent, the lines and the eyes kind of faded away, and she pulls the hair back in front of her face. Lena, your head is a bit reeling from the events that just happened.
Whoa.
Wait, was that? I didn't even see who gave it to me.
There is a lot that seems to be clouding your inner sight. You have much to learn about your...
Clouding how? Like, can it be cleared?
Perhaps I know of others who might be able to assist you in this. They are more naturalistic, and you won't easily find them, but I know of some that may be able to help.
Is that a challenge?
If you take it as such. We are a rare group. We see dreams, we see spirits, and we talk with them, find out what makes people who they are. And you are in dire need of help, as she turns once more to Lena. I suggest you see her thinking for a moment. Should you find yourself wanting to pursue this more, there is a tribe of orcs in the marshlands that has one such as I amongst their number, who will be able to help you further. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you more than that.
Can you send like a weird spirit ghost message to them and tell them that to help this one here?
Part of the process to recovery is the journey itself.
I'll look over to Lena. How's Lena doing?
She's kind of got like one hand on her head, but she's holding it together all right. She just seems very deep in thought almost, but not shaken.
Getting more curious.
It's gonna cost a silver every time.
No, I just need to make my money for the day.
Maybe. If I'm ever in the area of the marshlands, maybe.
I think the direction you gave us was worth it too. Or gave her. I'm just along for the ride. See how it ends up.
Is
Well,
there
If you
anything else I
two...
can...
Lena just leans back and gestures at the other two, like, if you guys have anything, go for it.
Killing like stops for a second. Just you can do future stuff, right?
To an extent, there is... The future is not set. It is harder to divine.
What about like the right now? Could you tell if something's like, I don't know, like wrong with a person or?
Do you have a token of this person?
I mean, you want a piece of my hair or?
Oh, with you. A piece of hair would do.
He just kind of like pulls one. Just recently, it's
Hold on, guys. One
oh,
second.
sure.
Sure.
Does Nemia want her fortune told?
Don't-
Yeah.
Herculean almost wants the cat's fortune told.
We all wouldn't know because none of you saw what Lena saw. There would just be a staring contest between a not a cat and a fortune teller and nothing else.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Gil, just like I've been. It feels like something's been holding me back, or that I'm not doing something right, or I don't know. He's almost like kind of quickly realizes Lena's in the room, and just like I don't know. Can you do like general once over on me? See anything that could like not my future, but anything I could like that could help me improve on things.
You are not so difficult to read. You think highly of yourself?
There's like a pause on the face, and it's like, I mean, kind of have to, don't you?
Not today.
Twitch.
If you are confident, in your action, what do you think is holding you back?
This is why I'm asking the question. Feels like everything and nothing. It's I feel like I need more power. Something.
Strength comes from within. What? You see her, a smile kind of peek out under the strands of hair. Perhaps you too could benefit from a trip to the Marshlands. The ritual, there is a ritual of oneness to center oneself, the different parts of oneself. Perhaps such a thing would be beneficial to you.
Like it realigns things.
In a sense, yes. I would. Could. No. I would if I could perform such a thing. These old bones aren't what they used to be.
You just kind of nods. So I was like, good to know. I guess one more thing.
Yes.
Are you good at locating things?
What do you need found?
The counterpart to this, and he kind of like pulls off the wolf cloak. He like lightly tests it on the table.
There is an ancient energy and almost otherworldly. Very rare. And you see her, she moves the hair back. You see kind of the same thing happening with the little swirls in the eyes as she's doing her thing. I sense a couple matches far to the south, perhaps from your home,
You know, it's like
and another far to the west in a place it has no right being.
just one.
Just one.
How far west are we talking?
I'm afraid it is not that easy. But I do not see. It is not over oceans. Perhaps that will help.
Any feeling on where it is? Cold, warm, rocky, grassy?
Someplace you would not find a wolf of the winter.
Nods. Alright. I guess also just... if this thing's got any spirit or anything in it, if you're good at that kind of stuff, can you tell it thank you?
Oh, this is just an artifact. It is not alive. But that is a sweet sentiment.
I know it's not walking around. I know that. And he just kind of like puts it back on.
Shut up, Mom. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Yep. He just kind of like leans back in the chair. What about the scald? Looks over at Nemia.
Do you wish to know? What do you wish to know?
Let's just go for a general overview. I'll give her a silver piece.
Ooh. Past, present, or future?
Ooh. Future, I'd say.
Future. Okay.
I love that we're doing all three of them in order.
You see she moves she parts her hair once. Blank white eyes. You too see the swirls of energy kind of in her eyes as she pierces into your being. And as she's doing so, you see this look of horror flash across her face, black, and she stumbles back out of her chair. And she's like, no, and she like kind of crawls backwards at the tent. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Whoa, what's going on? Hey,
She kind of cuddles in the corner, black eyes, and she's just scrunched, pure terror and fear.
looks over at Nemi and is like, what'd you do?
I just gave her a silver piece, like you guys said.
Yeah, and something's clearly different.
You hear this kind of shriek, and she says, "Get out! Get out!" And
And grab Nemia by the shoulders and start hustling out of the tent fast.
Killing grabs Nemia by the horn and starts pulling out of the tent.
Yeah, you escape from the tent, and you still kind of
Thank
hear
you,
her
sorry.
wails and shrieking.
Where's the cat?
Look around.
Duck back into the tent.
No, the cat will follow.
Okay. I grab the cat by the middle and haul it out and then dump its fluffy butt on the ground.
All right, what the hell?
It licks its paw.
Well, I don't know.
How'd you not
aside
know?
Aside from the fact that it's pretty obvious and not good for my future, I guess.
Not good for her, at least, for looking.
She's physically scared.
Well, imagine if she's scared about it. It supposedly will happen or represents me, so I'm pretty much screwed, I'd say.
Look down at Chili. Was that you?
I did nothing. But it was amusing.
Does Killian hear this one?
Yes, this is the group.
What the? Oh, fuck, you're not joking.
The
Oh.
hell would I joke about that?
I don't know, it's something you'd fuck with me with. So that... back with the... Okay, it wasn't you then, he was looking down at the cat. You gotta know what's going on, right? If you're a fucking talking cat, what?
I don't
Not a
know
cat.
what the lady saw.
Do you know what she could have seen?
Any number of horrors.
Why?
Well, to be fair, I'm I got all the right connections in my bloodline for
Okay,
these
so
sort of things to happen.
lesson learned: don't let fortune tellers anywhere near you.
Gah, I like
Hell,
that
it could have been Petra. He was kind of weird.
Next time we're here, I'm gonna go apologize to her.
She got 2 silver and some off of us. I think that I hope that makes up for it.
Yeah, that's most than a lot of people. And shoot, there's some people that make that in a year.
Mhm.
So she made off well, though she is probably very
All
scarred.
right.
A little trauma, food for a year. It balances itself.
It'll pay for the therapist.
Yep. Okay, we're heading back
Right.
before she calls
Okay.
the guards on the little hellspawn and the cat.
So you make your way and leave the kind of fairgrounds through the city, retracing your steps. By this point, you know well enough how to get back.
As they're walking to, is just what you see. Looks to Lena.
Not much. Look, before you go off on me on that, it's disjointed and broken, and I heard a voice. I saw someone handing me it, but I didn't see their face. I didn't even see what they really looked like. Just arm and hand, and that's it.
Nothing else.
was-
No other details.
It was made for me. It was given to me. It's for good luck. I was a warrior of some kind. I remember suiting up in armor, and that was before I picked this up.
When did you pick that up?
In
Then?
my, I don't know, when I went and joined the guard.
Sorry, out of character. Was it not that
That
Lena was small?
that would explain why I never really needed to train up for it. Probably, if I already knew.
Sorry, say that question again.
All right, in Lena's memory, she picked up the whole armor, weapons, fighting thing when she became a guard. However, is that what you were asking, Devin? Hold on, clarify what you wanted.
No, he's asking like the first time she got it.
Got what?
The pendant.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, she was saying picked up the warrior thing, and I thought that you were asking about that.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that's what it was. When did she get the pendant?
Yeah, he was like, if it was a charm when you were in the army, then
No, I don't know. I got a sense of. I don't even know if the other person was bigger than me in any meaningful way.
bigger than you.
You know, like if they were older and taller or anything. I don't know.
So you were smaller.
Maybe. I got a weird sense that I might have been, but I couldn't see myself.
But you got given it to someone when you were maybe smaller by someone who was maybe bigger.
I don't know. Yeah. DM clarification, was the person who gave it to me someone who had the sense of being bigger than me, or was it a same age kind of thing?
You had the sense of perhaps a friend, someone about the same size as you.
They might have been around the same as me. I don't know what the scale of differences can be there.
Childhood friend then.
Maybe.
Or teenage or something.
Hmm.
Look, we can just nail things down to look for, okay?
I don't remember ever being smaller.
Well, you had to have been.
That's new. Well, I mean, knowing a thing and remembering a thing are very different.
Yeah, and we're planning on fixing that. 'Cause I'll be damned if someone who can put my ass through a goddamn bar isn't gonna remember what their heritage is.
Why, afraid I might be a mutt?
Yeah, what does that make me then?
I don't know. Fancy pure breed dog. Walks around in the jingly collar. Maybe one of those collars with the ruffs. Have you ever seen those?
He
They're ridiculous.
shakes his
Trust
head.
me. You see a noble lady walking her little pooch on one of those, and you'll never forget it. It's
I'll
a
be
sight.
honest, you seem more familiar with this than me.
You get all sights in the cities. Did you not really? I assumed you grew up in one. Or maybe it was... You're from the South, right?
You know, it's,
Maybe a different culture.
I didn't. I didn't live in a city. I wasn't like on a street or anything.
You were in the castle above the city?
Yep.
What about you, Nemia? You ever seen anybody with a dog in stupid dog clothes or collars?
Well, not to mock them or anything, but we used to use them for plays in a way. We had little costumes.
It was a twitch on his face like you would put noble hounds in degrading costumes.
Well, you're a noble hound in some degrading costumes.
There's there's a look of anger, then there's like a almost like, oh you have balls. Oh, I'm like he's slightly impressed for a second. There's like, the tin can's not here to protect you this time, right?
Well, I can sure run as fast as well, faster than someone with a belly as full as that. Well, or as empty.
I feel like you're losing your point here.
Yeah.
So what was your thing with the cloak?
This is, let's say, a gift or a borrow.
Borrow.
It's not mine to keep.
Hmm.
It's mine to use while I'm looking for something.
So do you assume that the other two things the lady mentioned belong to or with your family?
And he shakes his head. This isn't. This isn't just a regular wolf. You heard her say it. I'm
Winter wolf?
not. I'm doing a favor for the mother of a killed child. Tracking down the killer, twisting his head until it pops. Once revenge is served, I return this back to her. Part of the reason
Have you found any clue of it?
That's my first one, really. I took to wandering. I guess you could call it an excuse, but it was one of the things that kind of kicked my butt out the door. So, if there's no... I'd like to run over there and get to him, but it's... or her, I don't even have a good idea of who it is. Just whoever's got the other side of this, and he passed the belt. But with the way things have been going recently, I'm not sure if I could do it. So I need to get stronger.
Oh. Anybody who murders a child. If it's not something that you have to do alone, and honestly, even if it is, I'll come along.
It was a wolf. It was for sport. But I appreciate the help. It was requested of me, but this isn't just for me.
You do eventually find your way through the alleyway, reaching the guild house.
I was about to say, oh hey, look at that, we're back.
Yeah. You know, the gate's closed. You look up in the tower, and you do see. Oh, man. Ooh, I lost the name. I just had it. Torin. Sorry.
Dragon Archer.
Yeah, dragon guard. He gives a nod to you, and you see the door open, and you're able to enter. There's light activity in the guild house when you arrive. You hear the faint clanging of metal. Bastion is probably working on something at the forge. You get a subtle hint of food cooking that makes you a little bit uneasy.
Maybe not Gillian.
As Cook is working on some food. Actually, go ahead and throw you into the guild hall. It is an empty hall when you walk in.
Hello.
No one really answers.
We're back, if anyone cares.
Yeah.
Elisa does kind of stick her head out the door and says, "Go, hello. Do you need anything?"
No, just we're back. Apologize to cook for me. I don't think I'm gonna eat dinner.
It's okay. L'Oreal said you all might not be so hungry when you return.
I'll take your portions. Hey, Cook,
Yeah,
what's up?
because this one threw all his up. He's
There's a stop on the foot, and it's like, if you feel like working off the calories, meet me out in the yard. I've got some frustrations, okay? He looks to Lena.
How's Lena feeling? Up to a fight, or is this still queasy time?
So it's been some time on the walk back. Probably don't feel queasy, but you are still very. I think the thing you'd want to do is lay down and take a nap at this point.
Yeah. Honestly, this is not the time unless you want me to throw up all over that fancy wolf pelt of yours the moment I get hit wrong.
He tells us it's like,
So,
I mean,
Rain-
the mental image.
Not pleasant.
No.
Rain-
Elisa
check
does.
for another day.
Feel free to back down. It's not the first time
Elise-
you've done so when you don't want to spew chunks.
Whoa.
Step back.
Let's go. I'm gonna die, but okay.
Okay. You walk outside. Bastion kind of briefly sees you two heading towards the training ground.
The
but then
fire
continues.
between them and like the electricity between the eyes.
He puts it down and kind of just he stays near the forge area, but kind of looks out over to see what happens.
Sandpit's
Yeah, if you
probably
guys-
better if you want.
Yeah, if you guys want to go at it,
Do we want to roll it or
Go.
Okay. Fine by me.
we could do initiative just to see who.
God damn.
Let's
Initiative is where I am cursed.
see.
Yep.
Don't worry, for me it's everything else.
Well, all the same, she turns around and says, "Weapons, fists, what?"
He shrugs. Up to you. But, and he'll take the cloak off and just kind of like lay it nearby. I'll take that warning you gave earlier.
All right. Don't
Case of no
say
clerical.
that I didn't warn you about just in general.
Right back at you.
Yeah, she
Right.
pulled up her fists.
All right, Killian will as well.
Oh man, this will take a bit longer. Okay,
Mm.
sure. Why
We'll
not?
try to go fast. We'll try to go fast.
Okay.
Do we want to maybe do it to like 1 hit point as well,
Yeah.
just so they're not like
Um,
physically knocking each other out?
Yeah. Down to a certain threshold of hit points, maybe.
Yep.
Do you want to call it like a percentage
Well,
or a
considering
number?
we're gonna be doing the same damage every time,
Mm,
basically like if it's gonna be the next hit is gonna knock you out, maybe just let the other know.
Okay. Sounds
I
good.
would say to half health.
Half health could work as well.
And Killian will like roll his next. Like, you want to do it to a point? We got to get up in the morning.
All right. But if we agree to do that, then we both have to agree not to hold back on calling it just because we want to prove something. Okay?
He nods. He's
All
like, no, just to be clear, blowing chunks doesn't mean calling uncle, right?
If I get to that point, it's probably time.
All right, good to know.
All right, go ahead. You first.
All right.
You stand there in a bring it stance.
Yep.
It's Killian charges.
Yeah, he'll do reckless. You know what? He's got a rage today.
Ah, you little bugger.
Mm.
All right, go for it.
He's not happy. I'm sorry.
All right.
This angry beast of a man comes charging at you.
Lena is the punching bag.
Let's have
Bring
some
it
fun.
on.
I got some shit
Bring
to
it
work
on.
out.
Oh no.
All
Do
right.
it.
Reckless.
Swing.
This wild punch
That'll
hits
hit.
you solid.
4. Okay. Her turn?
Yep.
Okay. There will be another punch, and due to reckless, this is at advantage.
Yep.
Yeah, 6. But
Oh,
halved
so
because you're
You get a
stupid.
solid blow back for 3 damage.
She noticed that he's not seeming to feel it as much.
Yeah, what
Mhm.
would be a strong punch seems to, barely affect him as he doesn't even seem to notice. He's in such a rage.
All right, then. Noted.
Mhm.
Go.
He is like bearing fangs a bit.
Go.
Ha.
Ooh, that misses.
Yep, that's about how it goes.
Another
Alright.
reckless swing. Lena ducks out of the way under.
She ducks under it and does a 17 hit.
Mhm.
And she's just gonna go ahead and pump a little.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oop.
All right.
So
For 14.
yeah. The radiant damage isn't resisted. How's he doing?
He's down to. You see the bar.
Not really. My token's covering it. Are you half?
Um.
Oh, you're less than half.
Yep.
Does Killian in his rage keep going?
That is the question.
Yeah, it's.
Because that was a cheap shot, to be fair.
Mhm.
Lena wasn't expecting it to flare up that much.
Yep. He'll. Spit off to the side.
Ooh. Okay. Yep.
All right.
Spend a hit die. Okay. Puts you above half, so technically you're good.
Mhm.
And Killian's turn.
Yep. Reckless.
Go for it. Oh no.
Yep.
Yeah. She ducks and weaves and hits again.
Mhm.
This time without the radiant flare. As she seems to be pulling back just a little bit.
Hmm.
Not the punch, but that one ability you know she has.
Yep.
Though you might not know how many times she can do that in a day,
Mhm.
technically.
Yep. Hits you for 3. Ooh. That's a tough call if you're directly at half.
You can keep going. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eric, level with me.
What?
How much are we getting up to in the next day?
We've got a mission to potentially go on.
Go ahead and throw. Oh, I see what you're saying. I will subtly remind you that say she might have something for you.
Yep. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Killian's gonna give a swing.
Mhm,
Just
mhm.
regular. Or reckless.
Reckless, reckless. Okay, the 20 hits.
Yep. You might
the
notice
four.
he's pulling his punches a bit.
Okay.
That's a solid hit, though. 4
Yeah.
damage.
All right. Lena's gonna swing back. She takes it real, spins around, and lashes out with a kick.
Yep. I'm just
And,
curious about your numbers. If there's anything. Okay. You no.
Takes a deep breath and regains those 4 hit points he just took off.
Yep.
Still going?
Something I
I'll
could.
say at
Yeah.
this point, L'Oreal will charge out the door and say, not you two. What are you doing?
If you want to take that one last swing, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I invite it. Oh, 17 just hits her armor class without a shield. Nice, another 4.
Yep. And just like a straight over and like across her jaw. It's like, oh hey L'Oreal, how's it going?
Hey, Beth will be with you in 1 second, and she's gonna punch. Action surge punch again. Oh, a 14 probably doesn't hit.
14 does not hit.
So much for an action surge. Oh well.
Yeah,
So
and we can
she-
probably call it there.
Yep.
You get a good strike in, you go to hit him again. Back, like, not looking to pursue the fight in front of L'Oreal.
Yep.
Do I even want to know what happened?
What? What do you mean? What happened?
Combat practice.
Yeah.
Nothing more? She kind of holds up a finger.
Do you want to join?
I might have beat him in a eating contest and a tug of war, and did better than him in archery. And
Can you reckless for the gut?
I mean, wanna try.
All right. He's gonna miss.
No, you can hit. You can hit. You can do it. There we go.
Yeah.
And that puts her directly on the halfway line. Directly.
And he's aiming right for the gut.
Okay. Sure. Make a Constitution.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
I clicked it. It'll be a
Yep,
20.
that's about how it goes, right?
Yep. You take it. You're okay.
I think that's enough for
Shuffles.
today. Pat on the back and walk off.
Yeah, could put your lights out.
You see L'Oreal shake her head. Well, if you're done beating each other up,
I think I won.
I
yeah,
do have
yeah,
a
was
mission
the
I'd like
food
to
in
tell
your
you
gut
about.
say? Oh, really?
I definitely won. Oh. Well, all right. But word of warning, I'm not eating anything, so if you're going to tell us about this over dinner, I'm going to be in
No.
my room.
We're going to the war room.
Okay.
It's about the ruins.
Sort of.
What am I saying? Everything you do is ruins.
So yeah, she'll gather up everyone.
God dang it. Same spot. Move over.
They bump into each other in the door. It's like,
Yeah.
like they're in the door. Like, you move over. No, you move over.
Yeah. Mimia, you're free to join. L'Oreal, as you have, she has everyone. This is a bit more crowded than I thought it'd be. Okay.
Honestly, there's plenty of space. It's only crowded if you intend to swing a sword around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who would do that?
In the
So,
war?
I
Character.
believe I told you there might be some
ruins near the city of New Haven. And I believe
You want to drop us on the
if
map real quick, actually? I assume she's going to be talking about
Oh.
locations.
no, it's just kind of nearby. There's
Hmm.
no specific thing to look at.
Mhm.
Because I'm gonna drop it and then we're gonna be done.
Alright.
So, there was this guy in back at the academy that we used to be a part of that real big into old legends, and one of his biggest discoveries, she makes little air quotes, was that he believed to have found the tomb of a god and was always trying to drum up support and research to back it. No one ever trusted him. And, it kind of ruined his whole career. Fun stuff. But I've been looking into it lately and I've found some kind of supporting evidence. And I
For
think he
it
may have
being
been
a
right.
tomb of a god.
So, not necessarily a tomb. I think the more direct translation would be the final resting place.
Okay, how about a
Which
more
doesn't-
important question? What god?
I believe it is the final resting place of Balder. And you would be
Killian, like,
familiar.
wipes the side of his mouth. But really?
Yes. So I'm gonna send you all to go find out what that is. And that's where we're gonna end the session.
You could
Awesome.
stop me if you wanted to.
Oh,
Oh.
till next time.
Till next time.